We're good to go. Alright, green light is on. Let's do this shit. So basically, what we're focusing on today is we're going to be listening through. I had to do some edits after the fact yesterday, after the matter, whatever. Audacity quit. Thank you. But basically, I had to do some last minute edits because, well, it was organized very poorly, and I need to fix it. So I went to FL Studio, did that last night, and when I listened through, there was some that noise got caught in, so I have to go back and I have to fix those. Well, I don't have to fix them, I just have to re-record them. Now I just need to find them. I've already found one, so it's recorded and set to go, but I don't know what else, so we're just listening through. Listening for certain anomalies.
White, powdery snow coated the dirt road they all traveled on. The wind howled loudly. Trees covered in icicles and more snow dotted the landscape around them. Dead leaves jutted out of the ground's soft white surface, crunching as they walked in silence. Every pony was on edge. Even the most collected of them, Twilight and Rarity, were just hiding their fear below the surface.
That's going to continually bug me, so I need to fix that. Okay, so if I just go back here, go back to the beginning. Let's see, it should be like right here somewhere.
Road they all traveled on. The wind howled loudly. Trees covered in icicles and more snow dotted the landscape around them. Dead leaves jutted out of the ground's soft white surface.
Soft white surface.
White. So
if I go like this, I noticed this yesterday and I just didn't want to fix it. So
white surface. White.
Okay, so first things first. Okay, here. Oh, I need to do this thing. Bring this back.
White surface.
There we go.
White surface, crunching as they walked in silence. White surface, crunching.
Does that sound better? Hopefully. It should. It should sound way better. But that was bugging me.
Escape around them. Dead leaves jutted out of the ground's soft white surface, crunching as they walked in silence.
Much better. Okay, so hello Super Spike. I can't stay long, but I want to drop it, so that's okay. We're focusing on basically fixing some stuff and adding some effects if the time's needed, or if we have the time. My bad. Like I said, I did some edits after the fact because I had to, well, I had to fix the organization of the lines. It was completely off and I had to fix it. So I did that last night, and now we're just going in, we're fixing some lines, like re-recording lines that got some noise in them, so I have to fix that. So right now, we're just listening through for those, re-recording. Then we'll get to, because the EQ's already applied on a certain track, so all I have to do is just re-add those and we're good to go. Then we can start adding some stuff.
An invitation to a dinner party and sleepover at Discord's residence wasn't something to take lightly. Especially not with the incident that occurred mere months ago. As they walked, an old, seemingly abandoned cottage came into view. There were shards of glass on the ground, and the fence in front of the cottage had snapped. Wood rubble dotted the pathway, and the bridge had a giant hole through it. A mailbox just outside the door was stuffed with letters and packages. "We're here." Rainbow choked out.
Like I said, what we're doing today is we're just basically going through, getting rid of some stuff that's not needed, re-recording some things, and eventually adding some effects if that's going to be possible. It should be. This won't take that long. I just have to listen through, catch the points, and re-record them. So it's no big deal.
Rainbow choked out. The group continued down the path. As they made it to the bridge, Twilight put up a magical force field over the hole to allow them to cross.
Another thing that I need to do is I also need to look through for plosives again and see if I can fix those. I've only spotted a few nasty ones, but we'll work on it.
Now that they were closer, they saw the disrepair in further detail. Where there were once birdhouses, now were missing entirely, and holes creatures used to burrow in were left abandoned. They made it to the door, which was slightly off its hinges, and paused. Rarity turned to the others in the group and cleared her throat.
Oh, jeez.
Since Twilight won't say it, I will. She declared. What we are about to see may seem strange.
See what I mean? The pauses between dialogue and saying, she said. That can also be a problem, so I just kind of made it so it sounds okay. But we're more than likely going to have to move that out just a tad.
What we are about to see may seem strange. I know from speaking to him that he is having a bit of trouble coping with the loss. I implore you all remain calm during this. Especially you, Rainbow Dash. All looked to Rainbow, who lifted a hoof in defense. Hey! She guarded. I know me and him don't get along too well, but I'm not the one who insulted him at his wife's funeral. Applejack rolled her eyes and sighed. You ever gonna let me live that one down? Applejack looked Dash directly in the eye and explained. She's getting at your tendency to make fun of him. I know you don't mean nothing by it,
Gotta keep those pipes
but
clean.
it's not something you should be doing at a time like this. Rainbow huffed, and they all went into the cottage.
And puffed and blew the house down.
The furniture inside looked just the same as they last saw it, only coated in dust and cobwebs. Not even spider webs. No creature seemed to have a desire to enter. The floor's green paint had bits chipped off of it, and they all noticed a white arrow pointing to the kitchen door. They followed its direction and entered to see a similar scenario. All the furniture was where it should be, and the calendar attached to her fridge was on the same month that they last saw it. However, there was evidence of the kitchen being used. Pots and pans sat on top of the stove, and knives laid on a cutting board. So, he's just been eating and sleeping? Rainbow asked. That is precisely the behavior I warned you to avoid, Rarity reminded, quickly turning to Rainbow Dash to point an accusing hoof at her.
Hold on. What was that?
Rainbow Dash to point an accusing hoof at her.
No.
The group noticed another arrow pointing to a door at the far side of the room.
Okay.
The door had Discord's name etched into its bark. The handle shined brightly, and the paint had been recently redone. Twilight opened the door for the others. They hustled in and saw a set of stairs leading to the... Twilight opened the door for the others. They hustled in and saw a set of stairs leading to the basement. The stairs, which were adjacent to them, were shrouded in darkness at the bottom. Each braved the stairs, this time led by Rarity and backed by Twilight. They both lit their horns to brighten up the room. When they entered, they saw a little light switch at the bottom and flipped it on. As light filled the room, they saw it was almost entirely empty, apart from two doors, a washer and dryer, and a mop leaning in the far right corner of the room. The door to the right had a lock on it and a sign saying, "Stay out." The door to the left was already open and had a red carpet leading into it. From what they could already see, it led to a vast room far too big for a simple cottage. The walls nor floor inside could be seen, only another set of stairs leading further down and the ceiling. They walked up to the door and stood still. What they saw was unbelievable. There was grass at the bottom of the stairs and a cobblestone path leading to a giant mansion. It had thousands of windows and was at least 5 stories high, touching the ceiling with its roof. The inside rooms were all lit up, and almost all the curtains were open. They looked at each other and began descending the stairs. It took ages to reach the bottom, but once they did, they saw the mansion's actual size. Though it looked big when they saw it first, they had no idea just how gargantuan it was. They quickly noted that the grass was indeed real and mowed recently. The cobblestone path didn't seem to have any cracks in it either. The cobblestone path didn't seem to have.
That's a bit of one. It kind of tickles my eardrum. Plosive removal is so annoying. But, yep, it's a thing.
Real and mowed recently. The cobblestone path didn't seem to have any cracks in it either. It was very well kept up, which surprised the five. Walking down the path, they observed the rooms surrounding them. The only wall visible was the one to their backs, which was painted black like the ceiling was. All other walls were utterly shrouded in darkness. Finally, they made it to the front porch. They all stood at the front door, bracing themselves for what would come once they knocked. Rarity walked up to the door and gave it a few light knocks. A few seconds went by, and the door opened to the interior. A pony wearing a well-dressed suit greeted them.
Hang on.
A pony wearing a well-dressed suit greeted them. Ah, the stallion remarked. You must be the master's esteemed guests. Please do come in. The stallion was a middle-aged, dark purple earth pony with a duster for a cutie mark.
Blue
He had a dark gray mane and dark brown eyes.
Which, actually, that voice right there is more hoity-toity-ish. Like, oh yes, darling. That's more, hoity-toity. Blue Balls is more douchey and more upstuck and all that shit. I haven't done Blue Balls in a long while.
The stallion was a middle-aged, dark purple earth pony with a duster for a cutie mark. He had a dark gray mane and dark brown eyes, which had bags underneath them. Each entered in single file and lined up in front of the stallion, clearing his throat. I am the estate's head butler, Primbright. I shall be attending to your needs, should you request anything. Master Discord is a bit busy at the moment, but he shall be joining you during this evening's dinner. Would you care for me to show you to your rooms? If you wouldn't mind, Twilight said with a smile. The butler nodded and turned toward a set of stairs parallel to the front door.
Okay.
They began ascending the stairs and reached the second floor. Lime green walls had sectioned the hall they entered with light green stripes and a wooden fringe that extended over half the wall. Both had open doorways, each leading to a different hall. The butler turned to the doorway to the right of them and continued.
That was a bit of one.
Following him closely, they
Controller.
For a hall. The butler turned to the doorway to the right of them and continued. Following him closely, they worked their way through the hall until they reached an end barring 4 doors.
Excuse me.
The butler turned to the group and stated, Rarity, you will be in this room here, pointing to the first door to the left. Twilight, you will be in the room to the right of Rarity's. Pinkamena, you're in the room at the end of the hall.
Pinkamena?
Applejack. Pinkamena?
I don't know why I said it that way.
Pinkamena? Pinkamena?
That's a little bit of a plosive, but I can't tell exactly because it's so sounding. So this will be interesting.
Room to the right of Rarity's. Pinkamena, you're in the room at the end of the hall. Applejack and Rainbow Dash, the master has given you both the room to my right. He informed. Now I must be off, for the master has asked me to set up the dining arrangements. Have you all had lunch yet? They all nodded, and Applejack informed. We just came from the Daffodil Diner. Good.
That's what I just fixed.
The butler said, turning around.
So we're not worried about that yet.
If there is anything you need, feel free to ask. I shall send one of my underlings to check on you in an hour.
An underling?
Enjoy.
What if an underling
With that,
is?
the butler walked off, and
I know,
everybody
it's of a
went
lower
into
rank,
their
but-
respective rooms. As soon as Rainbow got into the room with Applejack, they both began exploring the room. Right next to the door was another door that led into a private bathroom. The bathroom was a modest size, but had all of the necessities. It honestly reminded Rainbow of a hotel in Baltimore she once stayed in. Moving out of the bathroom, Rainbow Dash observed Applejack lying on a regal bed. It reminded her of Rarity's bed, an arrogant, overdone decoration piece disguised as a bed. At least, that's how she saw it. Next to the bed was an antique bedside table painted white with an envelope on top of it. Rainbow Dash walked up to the letter and picked it up, lying down next to Applejack. On the back side of the envelope was Applejack's name, written in some fro-fro style. Rainbow Dash proceeded to pass it to Applejack, who opened the letter. The letter read, "Dear Applejack, I forgive you for your insult. I wasn't a particularly good friend at the time, and you had nothing to do with her death. Just know if you ever need to talk, I'll always be here to help. Your friend, Discord." Huh? Applejack commented.
Like I said, Discord is a growing voice for me. I'm slowly working around and slowly just experimenting with it.
Huh?
I don't voice him enough
Applejack
to do it.
commented, placing down the piece of paper beside her. Rainbow Dash replied, "That was oddly mature for him." The two sat in silence for a moment, trying to let the note sink in. Breaking the ice, Dash decided to abruptly peck Applejack on the cheek. Rainbow let her eyelids droop a bit as she smiled up at her girlfriend.
Oh dear.
Applejack returned the smile and held a similar expression. She lifted a hoof to her hat and flung it onto a white chair. She propped herself up and maneuvered herself above Rainbow. Lowering her head, Applejack leaned over to Dash's lips as they parted just slightly.
It's not getting
They
18
sealed
plus.
the deal, locking their lips into each other. Dash lifted her forelegs and wrapped them around Applejack, her girlfriend following suit. The couple parted lips for a moment, passionately staring at each other. Unfortunately, a loud knocking came from their room door, interrupting them. Applejack pulled herself off Rainbow and whispered, "I'll be back in a bit." Winking as she got up,
Okay.
Applejack strolled over to the door and opened it, seeing Twilight at the door. "Sorry to interrupt," Twilight apologized, "but I was hoping I could ask you about something." Twilight fidgeted her forehooves on the hardwood floor outside the room.
Okay.
Applejack nodded and stepped out into the hall, closing the room door behind her. "Need a little help with something?" Twilight nodded and turned towards her room door, opening it. "I'd like to talk about it in private, if you don't mind." She stammered. "Sure." Applejack replied as the two stepped into Twilight's room. The room Twilight was given was much smaller. Also, unlike her room, the walls had alternating hues of pink instead of white, keeping the color only for the accents instead of everything. They walked over to the central part of the room, where a twin-sized bed.
That one kind of got in there, and you can kind of hear something in the background. But if you put music over that, I don't think it's gonna be noticeable. I've recorded in worse environments before.
Keeping the color only for the accents instead of everything. They walked over to the central part of the room, where a twin-sized bed covered in even pinker sheets sat in a corner. Twilight sat down on the bed and tapped to the left of her. Applejack sat down where she offered and asked, "So, what's on your mind, Twi?"
Is that tea?
Twilight sat down on the bed and tapped to the left of.
Nope.
"So, what's on your mind, Twi?" Twilight looked down and away from Applejack, rubbing her left foreleg with her right forehoof. Well, she started. I've been thinking about what happened. I've tried to move on, but... Twilight felt her eyes beginning to water up, remembering the last time she saw Fluttershy. Applejack wrapped her right foreleg around Twilight and leaned in a bit. Everypona's going through the loss.
Hang on.
She assured. Everypona's going through
That's
the
fine.
loss. She assured. I know Rainbow and I don't show much, but... Twilight cut her off, crying. No, I know that. I just want to know why. Why did she go out so late? Why did she have to die?
Holy crap.
Twilight began stammering as fresh tears began to drizzle out of her eyes. She wasn't right in the head. Applejack reminded. Do you remember how she was?
Excuse me.
Paranoid-like? Seeing things that weren't there? She wasn't gonna listen to no pony. Not you, not me, not even her husband. She continued to cry as Applejack embraced her.
Something tells me this takes place after, like, the last problem, like, events of the last problem, or even, yeah, the future ones, because, well, it's hinted that Fluttershy, you know, was with Discord, but they don't, you know, say it. Hasbro.
Jack embraced her. The tears began flowing out at a more rapid rate, and Twilight began sobbing more audibly. She buried her face into Applejack's mane, and her hug tightened. As Twilight's sobs became more violent, Applejack began stroking Twilight's mane slowly. Let it all out. She hummed. That's it. Just let all of your troubles flow away. The two sat there on the small bed as one comforted the other with more reassurance. It didn't feel like an hour had passed, but they heard a soft knocking at the door. Twilight looked up at Applejack with big, water-filled eyes. Applejack stroked her mane one last time before getting up and walking to the door. Opening the door, Applejack saw a young stallion that wore the same outfit as Prim Bright. Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
My apologies, but your friend Rarity has requested all of you to join her in the library. Oh, sure thing, Applejack said, scratching the back of her neck. Tell her me and Twi will be down in a minute. My apologies, but Jack and Tell her me and Twi will be down in a minute.
That's a little bit
My
of
apologies, but Master Discord has requested no pony wander around his...
Well, too fucking bad, Discord.
The back of her neck. Tell her me and Twi will be down in a minute. My apologies, but Master Discord has requested no pony wander around his home without us to guide you. All other staff are currently getting the feast prepared or catering to the others' requests. He sneered, grinning lightly. Applejack rolled her eyes and asked, Can't y'all just go there and come back? The butler, annoyed with his failure to receive a yes or no, glared at Applejack. I'm busy as it is. Are you coming with me or not?
That's what she said.
Groaning, Applejack nodded and called. Twi, you coming to make Rarity with me, or... She let the question trail off as she poked her head further in the room to see Twilight, who shook her head. Turning back to see the anger...
That's definitely one for sure. That's a tuh. Troller.
To see Twilight, who shook her head. Turning back to see the anger-inducing butler, Applejack stepped out into the hall.
God, that's a nasty one. Let me see if I can't bring that down a little bit. Let's see, where does the T?
Turning. Turn.
Let me see if that might help.
Turning back to see the anger-inducing. Turning back to see the anger in. Turning back to see the anger in.
That's about as good as it's gonna get.
Turning back to see the anger-inducing butler, Applejack stepped out into the hall. The two walked through a maze of halls to get to a stairwell leading to the 3rd floor. Climbing the stairs, the butler paused at the top for a moment, pondering something. After the small delay passed, the two made their way through more hallways until finally reaching the library doors.
I can already see a spot where I don't like the duration.
Pondering something.
This right here. Alright, let's see.
Moment, pondering something. After the small delay passed, the two made their way through more moment, pondering something. After the small delay passed.
Nope, too much. Okay, that was weird. Scared me a little bit. Let's see if that does a trick.
Pondering something.
Nope.
Pondering something. After the small delay passed, the two made their way through more hallways until finally reaching the library doors. The butler opened the door and waved a hoof in, cueing Applejack to enter. The door shut behind her, and she examined the room she was in. The library was 2 stories tall and had bookshelves covering most of the walls. There were even more bookshelves in rows, creating aisles on each side of the room. In the center was a vast walking space with large wooden tables. Looking to the library's end, Applejack spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble.
This one was a little tricky to organize correctly.
For her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table.
That definitely has some in it. Okay.
She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table.
Right there. Is there more here?
They all sat in silence, staring at Applejack. She noticed Rarity looking behind her with confusion.
Nope, just right there. Alright, so we gotta re-record that. That ain't too bad. So yay, you guys get to see me record raw. Wonderful. Okay. So I need to go to film fiction. If I can stop playing all tabs today. Okay, that's chapter 2. This is more toward the middle of the chapter, I believe. My apologies. Try down the beige, marble floor, burst page, and slip the hole once you arrive at the table. Right there, okay. Okay, let's do this, Brutus. Need to hear what I'm doing. Alright, sit up. record button. Seems like we're okay. She trotted down the cold beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. One take. Yee. Good. That's what I want. Let me listen back to that. She trotted down the cold beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. Okay, I think I see a little bit of a plosive. And slowed to a halt once. Brisk pace. Brisk pace. Right there. See a little bit of a plosive. Maybe. Okay, so now I just need to do this kind of thing. Export as, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh wait, not the whole thing. No. Export selected audio. There we go. Line fix 2. See, it wasn't all for nothing. Alright. Just put that on 2 and it should be fine. Because it's already got all the presets. I just need to find where the fuck I am. Line fix 2. Alright. So let's find where the flip we are at. What's the timestamp? We are at 17:45. Maybe. 17:45. Right there. Get our magnifying glass. Zoom in a little bit.
She trotted down.
Yep, that's the one. Alright. Grab this. Chop that. And get the new line. Put that in there. Everything should be applied. Just organize it a little better.
Spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a
What is that?
At a brisk pace. At a brisk pace.
I can get that, I think.
At a brisk pace.
See if I got it.
Brisk pace. Brisk pace. Brisk pace. Brisk pace. Brisk pace.
I don't know why that's there.
Brisk pace. Brisk pace.
All I know is that's annoying.
Brisk pace. Brisk pace and brisk pace and brisk pace.
How did that get in there? It's not in this audio, is it? She trotted down the cold beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. What is this crap?
Brisk.
Well, that's annoying.
Brisk pace and slowed to a halt.
There's not really anything I can do about that either. Except try to pinpoint where it does the stupid thing. In fact, actually, let me see this. Line 2, parametric.
Brisk pace and brisk pace.
It's one of the limiters doing that.
Brisk pace and slowed to a halt.
Why are you doing
brisk
that?
Pace.
Oh, fuck you.
Brisk pace.
Well, that makes it better, so why not? But then I gotta go check something else. That was at like 845 or something like that. The other line that I had to fix, which is about right here. Just to see, nothing unnecessary got in there.
They all nodded, and Applejack informed. We just came from the Daffodil Diner. Good. The butler said, turning around.
They seem quiet, but I can up the volume if I need to. It's no big deal. Okay, 17. Is this it? No. Oh, I'm on the wrong selector, that's why.
She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. They all sat in silence.
Good Christ. Yep, those are going to have to be up just a tad. In fact, let me just do this. That way it's easier. Then I don't have to do all this bullshit.
Pace.
Oh my god, now what? I hate when FL does that.
Her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table.
Yep, the volume's a problem. Volume.
Her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige...
Oh, I didn't have to do that. All I have to do is this. Oh, then I gotta change it. Right? Yep, to turn it up, I would have to do the other thing. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, so I'm just gonna have to do some timestamps. I don't need this anymore. 17:45 and 8:45. Funny I landed those last two numbers, but that's okay. Alright. We'll work on that later when we get around to it. Oops. Oh, hey, Judd. Right here. Yep, because the new one's going to be the clean version, so we don't worry about that.
They all sat in silence, staring at Applejack.
Ow.
She noticed Rarity looking behind her with confusion. Rarity turned her attention to Applejack and asked, "Did Twilight come with you?" Applejack shook her head and sat down at the table.
Okay, hang on, I got some comments to read. Did you watch or Did I watch or react to the Elements of Justice Case 2? No, I haven't. I kind of left reactions behind because I don't know, I just didn't like doing them anymore. So, just a heads up on that. Plus, the Elements of Justice are freaking long. So, yeah. But I'll watch it when I get some time if I feel up to it. Anyways.
And sat down at the table.
So what we're doing right now is we're listening through for any like additional noise. That's why I just recorded a line. And And then once that's fixed and it sounds right, we're going to go into, hang on, I gotta think. So we're gonna do maybe organize it a little bit better. Well, it's actually organized pretty well. I'm just doing that right now. So we're going through for plosives and re-recordings right now, and then if we have time, we'll get to adding in some effects like reverb.
And sat down at the table. I asked for us to get a minute, but that damn butler pony wouldn't allow it. Made me leave Twilight crying on the bed. Rarity shifted her gaze to the side and ran a hoof through her mane. Yes, the staff are a tad rude as of late, Rarity informed. Though you'll have to forgive them. You see, the staff here are a bit on edge at the moment. Prim Bright is the only pony seeming to have a...
We're going to add in some, like, reverb. So that might take that out. I don't know. Well, let's test that. Been a while since I've done echo on Audacity.
On edge at the moment.
See, can't even hear it in the background. That's not going to be the amount of reverb that we add, but yeah, it's still, yeah. Audacity! Quit being an asshole. Cancel.
Are a bit on edge at the moment.
Yeah, you can
Prim
hear it
Bright
there,
is
but
the only pony seeming to have a level head.
because Rarity's going to be speaking in a high room, so there's going to be a little bit of reverb coming off the end of her voice.
Are a bit on edge at the moment. Prim Bright is the only pony seeming to have a level head. Rainbow Dash, her curiosity growing, questioned.
Rainbow Dash! Don't know why I said that so ecstatically.
To have a level head. Rainbow Dash, her curiosity growing, questioned. I've been meaning to ask you, why do you seem to know so much about this place? It seems like you've been here before. Nodding, Rarity answered. Discord came to me a week after her unfortunate accident. He was having trouble coping and wanted help from me, so I offered to spend a few nights with him, which brings me to why I brought all of you here. Rarity turned her head from one end of the table to the other, making sure to address every pony. I brought all of you here. Rarity turned her head from one end of
Nope.
me to why I brought all of you here. Rarity turned her head from one end of the table to the other, making sure to address every pony. As Applejack pointed out, the staff here, apart from Prim, are fairly on edge. After Fluttershy's passing, Discord's attitude has been, to put it simply, drained. He's not the same creature we knew before. As such, he's been fairly reliant on them to attend to his needs, along with... Rainbow cut Rarity off and countered, asking, but if Fluttershy's dead and Discord needs more attention, doesn't that just equal the same amount of work as before? Yes, Rarity confirmed. But it is a different kind of attention. Whereas Fluttershy was dealing with a slew of mental disorders, Discord is mourning. Sure, there is overlap, but you cannot approach them the same way. Why not? Rainbow shot back. I mean, Fluttershy was depressed all the time too. Can't you just use the same treatment as before?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the noise in these
Rainbow
ones.
felt a hoof on her foreleg and turned to Applejack. Sugar Cube, she explained. There are different treatments for different creatures. Besides, Fluttershy was seeing things that weren't there. He ain't. Precisely, Rarity agreed. Which brings me to what I was saying before you interrupted me.
Okay, you don't know what that was, but okay. Put my fan back on.
Precisely. Rarity agreed. Which brings me to what I was saying before you interrupted me. You see, Discord has some unusual ways of coping with...
I don't know, they were
Precisely.
doing something.
Rarity agreed. Which brings me to what I was saying before you interrupted me. You see, Discord has some...
Wait, what was that?
Rarity agreed. Which brings me to what I was saying before you interrupted me. You see, Discord has some unusual ways of coping with the loss. Specifically, he happens to hold on to a doll. One that, well, let's just say it has a striking resemblance to Fluttershy. Rainbow's face turned to a grimace as she responded. That's just weird. Like, he's always been somewhat weird, but that takes the cake. More strange than Pinky taking a vow of silence. Applejack interjected. She smirked as her girlfriend sunk back into her seat, nodding. Fair point. Dash replied, looking over to Pinky. Sighing, she took her head and pulled herself back together, sitting up again. I guess I can get used to that. She thought aloud, a bit of wariness in her voice. Hell, if I got used to Pinky being quiet, this'll be easier than taking candy from, girls. Rarity interjected, trying to gather back her audience. As I was saying, Discord carries around a doll that resembles his late wife. But that isn't the whole story. Not only does he carry it around, but he also talks to it, as if it were her. And he doesn't expect any pony else to. But please, avoid any jokes about it. He is extremely sensitive now. That's a huge undertaking.
Could be because Rainbow is
Rainbow
one of my
sneered.
favorites.
But I'll keep my thoughts to myself.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Cross my heart, hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Smiling, Rarity turned to Applejack. And what about you? She asked, already expecting a yes. The nod answered it all, but Applejack decided to add. Big Mick does a similar thing with his Smarty Pants doll. Ain't a problem for me. Applebloom, on the other hoof, might have a few gripes with the idea. Thinks that it's for little fools. Applejack gave a small chuckle after finishing. A similar story with Sweetie Belle, unfortunately. Rarity muttered. I'm assuming you won't be saying much at all, correct? She asked, looking towards Pinky. All the mare responded with was a nod. When Pinky first made the vow, no pony expected her to keep it. Maybe for a day or two, at most a week, but she had. Her whole self was different. Her mane was flat, she never smiled, and her zany antics dropped as soon as she got the news. Gone was the premier party planner for Ponyville, and in was a rain cloud taken pony form. Every pony sat there in silence, not knowing what else to add. After what felt like an unbearable amount of time, they heard the library doors squeak open. Primbright, wearing the same elegantly pressed suit, trotted over to the group. I apologize for the interruption, but I need all of you to head...
We need some more space right there. Alright. Let's grab a little piece. Push it forward a little bit.
Trotted over to the group. I apologize for the interruption, but I need all of you to head back to your rooms. He said, slowing to a halt once he approached the table. Master Discord has requested the library be vacated, as well as all the other rooms besides guest rooms until the dinner party begins. Understood. Verity replied, standing up from her seat. Every pony got up, and Prim escorted them out of the dinner party begins. Understood. Verity replied, standing up from her seat. Every pony got up, and Prim escorted them out of the library. I hope you don't mind me asking, Verity inquired as they continued through the maze of hallways. But is there a specific reason he wished for us to stay in our rooms? The butler nodded and explained.
Again, let me see what happens with reverb. Where are you?
In our rooms.
Can't hear it.
Stay in our rooms. The butler nodded and explained. The master worries that something may go wrong tonight, and wishes to prevent any possible mishaps. He does have a sense for those. I sensed it too. A quiet mumble spoke. All of them paused and turned to see Pinky standing in the back. Every pony's eyes shot wide open. They stood there, motionless, and hoping to see if it was her. Before any could ask, Pinky mumbled. Was her. Before any could ask, Pinky mumbled. Sorry. A chill ran down every pony's backs. Pinky's sense of things was never wrong. Sure, it was misinterpreted every so often, but never wrong. What made it worse was the last time she told any pony about her Pinky sense, Fluttershy died. As such, Applejack managed to stutter out. What's gonna happen? Instead of replying verbally, Pinky just looked off to the side and let a tear roll down her cheek. Nerves got the better of Prim, who decided to break his professionalism, quickly shouting, Into your rooms, now! They all booked it down the hall except Pinky, who kept her pace as usual. Fears of what was to come filled the mares' minds. What would happen that night? Approaching the stairs, every pony skidded to a halt. Below was the snobby butler from before, only now he lay dead on the ground. Blood oozed out from his head and onto the wood flooring, pooling all around him. Questions on how and why this happened were quickly answered when Rainbow spotted the broken step. Guess we know what Pinky was sensing, Rainbow Dash muttered. Finally, after a painstaking amount of time, Prim collected himself yet again and called for every pony's attention. Every pony. He called in a commanding voice. Attention. Every pony. He called in a commanding voice. I need you all to stay perfectly calm. We shall go around the body and continue forth to your respective rooms. Then, I'll get some pony to clean this up. His voice noticeably trailed off on the last sentence, as his face to your respective rooms. Then, I'll get some pony to clean this up. His voice noticeably trailed off on the last sentence, as his face turned to a grimace. Be careful as you descend the stairs, he reminded. Every pony slowly began strolling down the stairs, He reminded. Every pony slowly began strolling down the stairs, making sure to avoid the hole in the step. As they made it to the floor, each looked over to the body. It was clear that the blood oozing from his head came from the giant split covering the upper left half of his head. Rainbow Dash was the last pony to make it to the floor. She used her wings instead of the stairs, too paranoid about using it. As she passed the body, she noticed a trail of blood that hit the wall, almost making out the letter F. Shrugging off the strange coincidence, Rainbow continued to follow her friends. Rainbow?
Okay. I'm just gonna have to re-import it. I forgot that I was going to do an FL Studio, but whatever. So the recordings are pretty much done, so all I have to do is just export this and replace the file in FL Studio. Export as MP3. Got an itch. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay. So while that's exporting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my things, remove this one, and just move these out of the way. Excuse me. I don't know, we'll move it to where it needs to be. Somewhere like that. So we'll just do that. Then when we get to importing the other one, yep, we're set to go. So, not sure what we're doing until that happens. We're almost right on the dot of 29 minutes. Jesus Christ. I don't intend to do this shit. But yeah, Don, I don't understand what you're saying when you say Rainbow is one, like, cause Rainbow's one of my favorites. I don't understand what that's relating off of. Hello, Aiden Turnbull. So we just finished up what we need to do in Audacity. Next, we just need to compile everything in FL Studio, then we can get to adding the effects, which is like reverb. Then, well, we're gonna be doing all sorts of stuff. First, when I got up this morning, I didn't even want to do this, but after having some coffee, yeah, it became pretty clear. I didn't want to stop. As long as I don't work myself to death, I think I'll be fine. Sorry about last time I didn't clarify what I wanted to talk to you about Fallout Equestria. That's fine, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Besides, Scribbler and I really don't work together anymore, so... personal reasons. When I mean telling Scribbler... What I mean telling Scribbler about Fallout Equestria about her voice acting Fallout Equestria of characters. Or actors. I don't know. I don't personally talk to Scribbler. I honestly don't. It's like a lot of people think that all of the like VAs talk to each other. Like all the MLP VAs talk to each other, like Lost and Scribbler, and well, they talk to each other, but personally, I don't. I basically don't. I'm kind of the lone wolf, and I'm kind of the guy that just keeps his business to himself. Unless I need somebody, then I will ask. Okay. So now I need to go to FL Studio. Need to go here, here. That's simple. It's the replaced one, right? Yep. I mean, I've talked to Scribbler in the past, but other than that, that's it. I did narration for her once, and I think that's about as far as it went. We've had some voice acting roles for each other, but that's it. That's as far as it's gone. Okay, need to doink. Okay, so now I need to organize all of these lines so that we don't have wonky crap going on. It's pretty on point. But I do need to remove this. Just personal reasons of my own. Why I don't talk to Scribbler much anymore. Alright, let's see where we
came from the Daffodil Diner. Good. The butler said, turning around. If there is anything you need...
Yeah, these definitely they need to be upped big time. Can you do that manually? Of course you can. Oh wait, I can turn it up just a little bit more.
Came from the Daffodil Diner. Good. The butler said, turning around. Came from the Daffodil Diner. Good.
Don't know why that's happening. I swear everything that can't get in the way.
Came from the Daffodil Diner. Good. The butler said, turning around.
That works. I mean, that's pretty equal. Alright, now on to the next one. Just this little section right here. Oink. And take that out. Oh, I know why it's happening. Okay. That's no big deal. Hello? Hopefully that does the trick.
She trotted down the...
Hang on.
Spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace. Spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. They all sat in...
Ay, ay, ay. I'm probably gonna have to do some adjustments with volume. I think that's about where I had it.
She trotted down the cold, beige marble footing space with large wooden tables. Looking to the library's end, Applejack spotted her friends waiting for her at one of the tables. She trotted down the cold, beige marble floor at a brisk pace and slowed to a halt once she arrived at the table. They all sat in silence, staring at Applejack. She noticed Rarity looking behind her at the table. They all sat in silence, staring at Applejack. She noticed Rarity looking at the table. They all sat in silence, staring at Applejack. She noticed Rarity looking behind her with confusion.
Okay, that's fixed. We don't need that. Okay, I don't think there's anything else that is like that needs to be fixed. Nope, not at the moment. Alright. Boink. And to do the next step, I gotta do an export. Alright, that's fine. Clean. Full clean. And start. Okay, cool. Could you like make another MVP Grimdark for Autumn Blaze for my point? Like, not right now, obviously, since you're working on something, but like, you know, in the future when you have time. Also, a Grimdark you're working on sounds interesting. Not everything I do is just Grimdarks, guys, but again, the Autumn Blaze one was done by someone else, and only if I, you know, get people writing those stories can I do them. Simple as that. That's the problem with fanfiction right now. And the reason why I'm so inactive is because, well, that's not providing. So, yeah. As for the fanfiction, this one is a future fic. Well, not really. Near future fic, I should say. Like, once I get a chance to get this out, I'm getting it out. Because, well, you guys have gone without content for long enough, I guess I could say. Like, I feel horrible that I haven't gotten anything else out. It's been driving me crazy. So as soon as this is done rendering, then we'll import the full file in, and then we'll get to work on doing some stuff. This is where all the effects come into play and what makes it sound realistic. Well, I shouldn't say that. The mix is where it really sounds realistic and all that crap, but the sound effects do, like this, the effects to the voice do make a realistic sound to it. Ow. I saw Dawn said something. Basically, your body puts itself in a state of, I like this person, so I'm speeding up now, which causes you not to be able to control volume and speed of your voice. Dawn, you're all over the place today because I don't understand what you're saying. Did I miss something? Potentially. I don't understand. Okay. So like you said, you need a writer, right? Maybe I could help writing some of your stuff. No, I don't need a writer. I just need shit to produce. Plus, I've got other projects in the works. I've got Savior to work on. I know where I want to go with it. I'm just having a writer's block at the moment. And kind of a lazy aspect as well. But I do need a break. My brain can only produce so much before it's like, dude, I need a break. It's not like back when I was in 2014? 2013-ish? I don't know, 2014, 2013, when I was writing fan fiction for days. You mentioned earlier about how excitedly you said Rainbow's... Oh! Oh, I get it now. Okay. No, that wasn't the case. I think it was just a case of me, I don't know, getting ahead of myself, maybe? I don't know. That tends to happen when I'm in a good rhythm. But usually it's not that big of a problem. Well, it's not a problem. It's just kind of like hurtful to my ears. Volume control, finish up in Audacity. This one is where we just add the reverb and all that shit. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, I'm not against having a writer. It's just I prefer to write my own stuff. Well, I tend to write, like, make my own fan fiction. That's the thing that I'm talking about. So, and I don't script shit. The only thing I script is my readings. That's it. The update videos are all raw and straight to the mic. Sometimes 3 takes more takes than you would imagine. Like the freaking the casting call video alone was like 9 takes before I finally got it right. Okay, we're almost done. There goes my fan. The computer's at work. Alright, that's good. Alright, so now I can just replace... Yeah, this is not important. Alright. You can just go bye-bye, you just go bye-bye, and you can just go bye-bye. So now we want to just add in the new one, put on 1, so that's natural. Because I don't think there's anything on the first track. I don't think so, no. Load sample. Full clean, there it is. Okay. I need to check my mixer. Do we have anything on 1? No, we don't. Okay, so I can just put it on 1 then. That's fine. Alright, so... Do I need any of these anymore? Minus this one right here. I don't need you. Delete. I don't need that. Delete. No, not edit. Fucking hell. Fuck off. Delete. Because it's all in the file, so I don't need to worry about it. Delete. Okay. Doink. No, not that. Boink. Alright, so now we're focusing on dialogue. So I need to get a setup going. No, not there. We're going to have unique styles. We're going to have 1 track, I believe. Unless it's a different kind of reverb. Reverb. So we're more than likely going to... We're not going to need that for sure. So let's just get rid of these. Really? Delete. Yeah, I don't need these because they're already applied. Delete. I don't think I need them anyway. No, Sparrow, they're already applied. There's no need to worry. Delete. You can just never be too flippin' careful, because I've done that so many times. There we go. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to need which one is it? That one. We're not going to need much of it. We're just going to need very, very little. But we'll get to that in just a second, because the first line is rainbow. I remember that for a fact. So let's just focus around. Doink. think that's it right there. Right?
We're here.
Yep. Okay, but this is like a low mutter, so I don't know. Do you need any reverb on that? They're out in the open.
We're here. Rainbow choke.
Maybe just a tad? I don't know. Let me try it. And this, my friends, is where things get a little tedious. Okay, we need to make unique as a sample. Sure. We need to put that on the right track. So 2. And now we need to edit it to where it's not going to sound like we're talking in a wind tunnel. So we don't need much reverb.
We're here. We're here.
Nope, not yet. I don't think we're going to need it right there. Because they're out in the open. Like, no, it's not necessary to put it there yet. So what shit. I cannot do the whole thing, can I? No. Control A. Delete. There's a method to my madness. Just hang on a second. Ugh. Oh my god, where are we? Can I please zoom out? Thank you. Okay. All right.
We're here. Rainbow choked out. The group continued down the path. As they made it to the bridge, Twilight put up a magical force field over the hole to allow them to cross. Now that they were closer, they saw the disrepair in further detail. Where there were once birdhouses, now were...
Okay, I'm just going to make this easier on myself and cheat. Okay, so I set my adjustment to CCC here. Can I just send it here? Here is fine. It doesn't alert me anyways. Okay.
We're here.
All right. What was I doing? Cheating. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay, hang on. You mentioned earlier about, okay. Bet what if I made like a story of fan fiction, maybe you can read it so you won't have a problem making a story. The thing is, I'm very picky. I'm very picky and peculiar on what stories I choose. It's not that it's just like an overlooked author's story. The story has to be good in order to fit that category. So, it can't contain any tropes. It can't be slasher horror. It has to be good. It has to catch my fancy and keep me attached. All right, let me see. So we're looking for dialogue. Maybe. Oops, wrong place. We're here. Rarity. Severity's the next one who talks. They're still outside though, so I don't think there's going to be much matter in this. There's not much in this situation.
Group and cleared her throat. Since Twilight won't say it, I will. She declared.
Wait. What was the description of the place? My parents know the wind went howled loudly. Yeah, the wind would knock out all of the waves. Trees covered in icicles and more snow dyed the landscape around them. Dead leaves. Yeah, it's only if you're like shouting that you're going to actually get any echo through.
Group and cleared her throat. Since Twilight won't say it, I will. She declared. What we are about to see may seem strange. I know from speaking to him that he is having a bit of trouble coping with the loss. I implore you all remain calm.
Alright, I know where to go.
They all went into the cottage.
Yep, here we go.
Not even spiderwebs. No creature seemed to have a desire to enter. The floor's green paint had bits chipped off of it, and they all noticed a white arrow pointing to the kitchen door. So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
Right there. Okay, first set of dialogue is right here. They need some reverb because they're inside of the cottage now. The mix for this is going to be interesting. Right?
So...
Yep, that's right. Alright, make unique as simple. Sure. We want to put that on a different track. Correct. Yep, that's right.
So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
See what I mean? That's more of a realistic feel to it. I think it's just a little too strong, though. Because I think this would just be a very mild echo. Because it's still packed. It's just, yeah, very, very mild.
So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
Okay, hang on. There's better presets for this. If it'll show my thing, please. Thank you. Okay, so that would be...
So, he's just been eating and sleeping? Rainbow asked.
No.
That is precisely the behavior I want.
Nope. No. No. Maybe a small studio?
So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
That's not powerful
Rainbow
enough.
asked. That... So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
Turn that up just a tad.
So, he's just been eating and sleeping? Rainbow asked. So, he's just been eating and sleeping?
That might work. I mean, you'd have to add the ambience in there. Which I know what I want the ambience to be. Let me just do that. Let me see if it sounds okay for the default. Okay, so I do need this. Hopefully I've still got that on a drive or something. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's put it on 3 because why not? Blood sample. Nope. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna have to look it up. Creaking. PC, please. Oh, of course, now you're gonna be a dumb nut. Okay, let's just be an asshole then. Well, if my PC would stop being a bugger, yeah, it would really be nice. What the hell? Okay, you know what? I can just reapply this shit. Not worried about it. Sucks that freaking stupid shit like this has to be this stupid. But it has to. There we go. Yeah, the heater is kicking on. Okay. We'll try that again. Better it happened there and not elsewhere. Otherwise that would have sucked. Oh my. Alright, sorry guys, we had a little bit of a meltdown. Well, it's not a meltdown, but you know what I mean. I'm actually going to open my Discord because I need to check something. Alright, get that back up. Hello, Sunset Watcher. Sorry about that. If anything, it helps to just push reset. This is what I always dread is gonna happen whenever I am doing this and it can't save. That's simple. Sorry, I'm having a freaking brain fart. Oh, well, that's a lot of pressure, man. Well, I'll try my best since I want you to read my stories, like readings. Also, you said it can't be all tropes, right? Like, do you mind elaborating, giving me some examples because I really want to make up. Well, what I mean by tropes is your common horror tropes. Be unique. Kind of like how, you know, the original Grimdarks of MLP are unique in their own manner, like nobody had ever done something like that before. That's what I mean. Do something different. Don't make another slasher. Don't make a parody of a bona fide version of a slasher. You know, be unique. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, where did you go?
Applejack rolled her eyes and sighed.
Hang on.
In defense.
Okay, it's not there. Oh yeah, I got. Is this it?
Rainbow huffed, and they.
Okay, there's the there they go inside.
So.
There we go. Got it. But before I do anything, I'm going to do this. I need to find that sound effect first. By the way, I've also kind of worked out of Pony, and I'm diversifying. So, uh, if you have a fan fiction account, if you make, I don't know, Ruby is something I'm getting into. So I want to, start doing stuff just besides Pony, even though I technically have a little bit. Okay, I want to search my PC, please, because I gotta find that stupid sound effect wherever the hell it is. I always lose it. Oh my god, PC. Kaijo, please. Okay, there it goes. What am I looking for? Creaking. PC just likes to be a bugger when it wants to. It doesn't have to be a creepypasta. The one I just did is more of a sad and like, what's the word? What am I looking for? It's a sad like hurt and comfort kind of story. It addresses something that I'm hoping that the show gets to in the future. Because right now Ruby's just kind of a stale character that doesn't seem to have any feelings. Well, it's not that, but she doesn't seem to be like... PC, can we just not be a dickwad today and be nice? But I'm sure there are creepypastas of it out there. Okay, screw you. Why are you opening? Oh my god. Why are you opening? Fuck off, please. Get out of here. Okay, whatever. What the hell? Oh my god. I just closed the Windows Explorer, you thing. I didn't. Oh my god, things that don't want to work, I swear. Why did the entire thing freaking shut? Oh my god. Well, okay then. I think I'm gonna have to restart my PC because it's being a bugger. Yeah, it's being an asshole. I don't know what's happening right now. Well, I don't know if the stream is gonna stay going or not. I honestly don't. Sorry, guys. But my PC decided to just say yeet. And seeing I can't close anything, well, that sucks. So, I guess I'll be back in, I don't know, a minute or two? I don't know.